Hey followers, today again, normally and typical for the future, we do on Thursday Tips Thursday. So I give you some tips, some hints where you can get some informations, but I think it is the first Friday, like we have Thursday today, but tomorrow first Friday, and we get some important news, and I want to give you an update. What do I think about the market? And I want to give you an overall clue where we're gonna go in the next days. So let's start first of all with the fear and greed indicator. And as you see, we have right now 27, a score of 27, which is still too high, right? And I don't think if we want to see a bottom, that we see the bottom with a fear and greed indicator of 27. We saw that here, and we saw here 6, and then we saw a big move to the upside, right? And here I don't think that we're gonna bottom in here, and I will come later as well. Why should we bottom here? There's no reason why we should, because we have still a lot of rumors and a lot of stuff in the market, and as well in the crypto market overall. But the economy is not better. Like, it is like people thinking now we can go up higher right now, but we still have a broken car. And with a broken car, I mean the economy, right? Not because the market is going up and the economy is fixed. And then I want to give you a really nice indicator. And this indicator is anticipating the recession, and there are more values into that indicator. And every time, because as you see that the hit rate is 100%, every time when we came below 0, we hit a recession, right? And we had a recession here, and it was 3 months lead time, so the indicator came 3 months down, and then later we saw it here, it was 8 months, and 8 months again, and then 5 months, and then 15 months, 5 months, and now we are here again. And the average lead time, as you see, is 7 months, so maybe the recession will be in March. And what does it mean with the recession? Is then the market bottomed and then we going up, or is then the market topped and then we going down? We will come later to that. But yeah, first of all, you saw some big moves today. What happened today? Today we got the core PCE data, and yeah, then we got some nice moves. But as you see, the market not even reacted that crazy to the upside. And we saw some big H1 red candle. So yeah, nothing special. Important will be tomorrow the unemployment rate. And little side fact, we saw Brazil is allowing crypto as a Bitcoin as a payment, not as a must-have payment, right? So they don't have to use Bitcoin as a payment. What do I think about it? Of course, it's giving trust again to the market, but overall, I think it doesn't really change a lot, because I don't think Bitcoin will be good enough for payments. There's no way Bitcoin can be good as payments. So I think it's just good for the trust into the crypto world again, and which could bring a new money to the market. But overall, I don't think Bitcoin is not for payments. Let's say it this way. Then some interesting chart. Look at this. The consumer price index, inflation just on food. So in Germany, and you see 21%. So I would say I have to cook right now for myself and not going eating outside anymore. Super crazy, 21%, super high, and this is just over the whole year. Crazy. Yeah, so let's go to the CME watch tool. In 13 days, we will get the Fed talking about the interest rates, and right now priced in is 80%, that we get 50% and 20% is 75%. I think it's still not fixed. People pricing this one in. The market rallied up for that. But imagine the inflation is worse, and this is getting higher. And if it's not getting higher, right, and the inflation is getting better, and we're seeing lower inflation, then I think he has not much more room to the upside, and this is already priced in. So I think overall, it doesn't matter what we see. There can be not that great news. Yeah, that's why I think the market could go further up. And let's go into these charts. First of all, I want to give you my sentiment, how I checking the sentiment, and you see every time when we ditched around the 10% level here, the market is moving up. So in every index, you saw the market moved really fast to the upside. You saw as well in the Dow Jones, crazy, and as well the S&P 500 outperforming everything. Crazy what's going on there. And if we're checking the S&P in combination with the bond yield difference and the recession. So the green lines, that's all times the recession, and this one below, this are the 10 years and the 3 months bond yield difference. And you see every time when we came to the downside and then coming up, we found the bottom as a top, right? So let me mark it for you, right? We came here, crossed to the upside, from the bottom crossed upside, we found the top. Same here, we found the bottom, crossed to the upside, and we found the top. Same here, we crossed up and we found the top, right? And now we are in the same situation. We are down below here and we're waiting until we're moving up for finding the top, right? So it's just a matter of time where we're finding the top right now. And this is really interesting because what do I think if we're checking just the S&P 500, right? Let us check the S&P 500 real quick. Then you see how crazy the market moved to the upside, and now we are on a trend line from this year. And if we should break this trend line, and I hope we break it, because just imagine again, if we're gonna break this trend line, every retail would go long, right? And I think as well we could break it, and then maybe around this level here in this fair value gap, the market could turn around, which is still super high, right? Don't in this kind of market situation, but as well then we should have time when the market is going to the Fed is pivoting, then the market has this top and we could go further down. So let me show it to you real quick. If we say dip. So this one, every time when we pivot on interest rates, right, and we peaked higher with the unemployment rate, we found our top, right? And the bottom was then in when the unemployment rate was at its peak and the unemployment went further down. So I still think that we going up for the next months is still with the interest rates, and we're still not pivoting. And as well, if we're just going up with 25 basis points, it's still, then we're still not pivoting. And that's why I still think there's still room for S&P to go to the upside. It still could go down from that side, but I mean, look at this high. This high shouldn't be there if we are that close, right? So we should take at least out that high, and the market should be changing his direction in this place. Like, we cannot say where directly, but it could be around this level. And that would be nice as well, because everyone else would entering the market and be hyped, and then the market could go falling down. Because right now, there is no reason why the market should go up. There is no reason. The only reason is that everyone is expecting a recession. And if everyone is expecting something, then we don't get it as soon as the people wants it. So that's why I still think the market can go up higher, right? People then believe, okay, we are done with everything. Now the market is fine, and then we see the crash to the downside. Same in the crypto world, but just differently in the crypto world is if we're checking the crypto world right now, you see I still have a short here in ETH. I mean, I might get out break even, but you know, I'm trying to get as close as possible to the top, right? But yeah, so if we're getting to the BTC, right? As you see, BTC just entered at my red line. Red line is my target line. As you see, we just entered the target line. But if you're going to the higher time frame, you see we got out this trend line. Everything is fine, and we are on a weekly fair value gap, but we still have place to 18,000 to the upside. And if we're checking this chart here, and with this chart, we can see I have my levels here at 17,800, which is nice. Same here, 70,900, this level here. So we have a cluster on that level. But in the worst case, what could the market could do in the worst case? I think the worst case where the market could go is at 23,000. Do I think the market will go there? No, because I still think as well people just overrating the push to the upside and thinking, oh, now the market is, we found the button and the market has to go up. But obviously, we know the people, there's less sell pressure and less buy pressure, because as we saw, the market on BTC was just moving by the future market, right? And not by the spot market. And normally you want to see that opposite, right? You want to see the movement from the spot market and not the future market. But what you thinking about, what you can remember yourself is, all times ask yourself, who has to sell Bitcoins right now? And it's not you. If you have a job, if you don't have a job, you have to sell them later on, because before you go into a private insolvence, bankrupt, then you want to sell your Bitcoins because it's super easy to sell them. And then you might sell your house as the next plan if you don't still get a job. So there's a part of retail, right? Private people who has to sell their Bitcoins if they have no job anymore and they have to pay their bills. On the second hand, we see the miners, right? They obviously, if the market is going further down, they have to sell all the Bitcoins, because obviously the business makes no sense, right? That's why we saw the big miner capitulation, because they have to pay the electricity, the graphic cards and all the stuff. So, and for that, to get money, they have to sell the Bitcoins they mined. And then we have all the companies which went bankrupt, right? And of course, if you go bankrupt and you have some coins left, you sell the coins and then you give the people the money back who lost the money on that. But this, of course, can take ages, as you see at the Mt. Gox, right? 10 years. And yeah, I don't think that will be an event for this recession. And then on the last hand, you have bigger companies which landed some Bitcoins, and they wanted to give the lending money back by selling their Bitcoins in profit. Let's say it differently. Let's give me an example for you. Let's say I want to buy Bitcoins, right? And it's at 1,000. And now I say, okay, I make a business of it. I say I lend 1,000 from you to buy the Bitcoins, and now Bitcoins is going up to 20,000. I'm selling at 20,000, or just a part, doesn't matter how I feel comfy with crypto, but I can sell at least 1,000 of my new portfolio of 20,000 and give you back the 1,000. But imagine the opposite, right? You gave me 1,000, I bought Bitcoin with it, and now the Bitcoin price went down, and now my Bitcoins are less worth. So I have to sell all my other products, all my other coins, to give you back your money, right? And that's as well the people like Michael Saylor, which has to sell around 12,000, I guess. Then they have to start selling some coins to get the money. And this is all the problem. So I still think, don't be overwhelmed with the market right now, with the push to the upside. Stay safe, stay outside if you don't want to trade. But don't trade that much long with leverage. Don't trade at all with leverage. And if you want to be at the safe side, you have a good opportunity to buy for your HODL portfolio. That's fine. That's okay. But I still think the market can go up, can go down, and at least to the upside we have at least to the maximum 23,000. I don't think that we're gonna reach that, but then we have 18,000 here, and then overall it could be around 18,000 and 20,000. Around this cloud we have here, the market could change. And on the downside, we have a little good level of support here at 16,663, which is the old high, cloud high, and the middleman from the current months. Yeah, that's all. I hope I could help you with that. And if you still have any questions, feel free to write that down in the commentary. I would like to help you. And stay safe and have a good day. Bye.